We are live, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait. All right, we got one person. All right, good morning everyone, even though it's just one person. That's my brother. Hi, okay, so I wanted to come on a little earlier just to talk about mobility really quick. So I'm gonna be running you guys through a little mobility segment that I've been trying to personally stay consistent with. I'm doing this about 3 times a day, usually in the morning when I wake up, in the afternoon, and then right before bed. This is gonna be about a 15 to 20 minute little mobility segment. I'm doing about 10 minutes when I start mine. And the reason for that is my mobility isn't the best, and I'm really trying to take the opportunity to get better at it. Usually when I'm working, I'll get in about 1 to 2 minutes here and there, but with this whole quarantine, I'm trying to get at least 10 to 15 minutes every time I sit, just to kind of hone in on everything. So I usually start off with a breathing segment, and then I move on from there. So we're gonna start off with breathing. Each and every movement that we do is gonna be done for a minute, and then with exceptions to about 2 or 3 that are gonna be done for 30 seconds. So all you're gonna need is your mat. I have the timer that's gonna be running in about a minute, and yeah. All right guys, type if there's anything, if I'm not speaking loud enough, if anything is just out of line, just let me know. I'm gonna periodically come up just to check some of the comments. But all right guys, we're gonna go ahead and start off with breathing. So I want you lying on your back. I'm gonna talk you through most of it. So this is gonna be called belly breathing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start off in a fully reclined position. I like to keep my feet planted on the ground. My hands are just gonna come on my belly. So what we're gonna do here is you're gonna take a deep breath in, and you're gonna see if you can try to expand your stomach. So what tends to happen when we're nervous, we start breathing from our chest. So it's very up here. What we wanna do is focus on diaphragmatic breathing. So we wanna get our belly nice and round. So let's go ahead and start. In 3, 2, 1, go for it guys. So again, hands on your belly. You're gonna take a deep breath in, and allow your belly to expand. Your phone is sideways. Should it not be sideways? Turn the phone, please. We're gonna continue. Do you guys mean, like vertically? Comment if you want it vertically. Continue on the breathing. So again, hands on the stomach. You wanna try to get your belly as round as possible, and then exhale and compress. You guys still have about 20 seconds. Rotate it so it's horizontal. It is horizontal. I even have my lock off. Huh. That is so odd. Keep going, guys. You have about 10 more seconds here. Let me see if this will rotate. Let me start you guys off on the next movement, and then we'll go from there. So these ones are gonna be called knee extensions. So still in your lying position, go ahead and interlace your fingers underneath your right foot. What you're gonna do from here is slowly bend and fully extend. This is gonna warm up the hamstrings a little bit and get your knee going. If you hear some cracks and pops, that's okay. I hear them all the time. And that's perfectly normal as long as there's no pain. So what I'm doing here is flexing my ankle as I go all the way up and all the way down. There may be some shakes, there may be some snap, crackles, and pops, which are okay. Again, you just want to get full extension in that knee, bending and extending it. Let's go for 7 more seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, go ahead and switch. Again, you're just gonna interlace your hands underneath your left foot. You're gonna fully extend and contract. So extend and flex that foot. Just gonna be checking on the comments, but keep going guys. Again, interlace and just fully extend. It's okay to hear pops and sounds as long as there's no pain. If you do feel pain, don't go up as high. So if you feel pain when you're fully extended, don't extend as high. That's gonna be the one tip that you wanna keep in mind. Keep going for about 15 more seconds here. Again, just interlacing. You wanna try to move with your breath. So inhale down, exhale, extend that knee. Again, inhale down, 7 seconds, guys. Exhale, extend that knee. Let's go this last one here. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. Hands come out in your T position. This is gonna be a little piriformis mixed with a T-spine drill. So go ahead and place your right knee over your left. So I'm creating this figure 4. What I'm gonna do is lift off the ground and lean towards the side with my knee up. So right here. I'm gonna bring it all the way down, come back up, switch. So I go piriformis, and then I'm gonna lean towards the side with my knee bent and not crossed. So this is gonna be a piriformis, which is your deep glute muscles, as well as your low back. So we're mixing our T-spine drill with this movement. With the T-spine drill, what you wanna be cautious about is you don't wanna allow your shoulder blade to leave the ground. So I don't wanna go into something like this. That's gonna be defeating the purpose of that T-spine drill. I cross, and then I gently lean. So you only wanna go as low as your shoulder blade allows you to. If you feel that you're lifting, cut the movement off there. As you do this, as you practice this movement, often you'll be able to get full range of motion. So just be cautious of that. We got 7 more seconds with this movement. 6. Let's get this last side. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got our next one is going to be our dead bug, guys. So in that lying position, bring your hips and knees up into this 90 degrees, and I'm going to bring my hands up. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to lower my right arm back as I extend out my left knee. So extending out my left knee as I lower my right arm back, coming back in. I'm going to lower my left hand as I extend my right knee. So the opposite side that I'm not working is going to still maintain in that position. What we want to do here is we want to make sure that our low back stays on the ground as we go into this movement. So being mindful to keep my core engaged the whole entire time and come back up. Again, being mindful about my low back and my core. What I'm doing at the very end, so just to show you guys the feet, I want to completely flex. I don't want to let it tap the ground. What I want to do is I want to make sure that my quads and my glutes are engaged throughout that whole entire movement. So when I come to my end range, I'm going to make sure my quads and my glutes are nice and tight before I come back in. We have about 15 more seconds with this movement. So inhale, bring the hands in. Exhale, expand out. Inhale, bring the hands in. This is going to be our final one on our back. Let's keep it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice, guys. So go ahead and come up into a hands and knees position. I'm going to have my knees underneath my hips and my hands underneath my shoulders. We're going to go into threading the needle. So this is going to be a nice little shoulder mobility for you guys. I want the back of your hand to glide underneath, and then you're going to rotate up. So what you might not be seeing, what I'm doing is I'm going to have to bend my opposite arm, which is totally fine. What I want to do is I want to bring my shoulder all the way to the ground. So it's okay to bend. As you can see at my very final end, my shoulder blade is tapping the ground, and I'm going to rotate up. So stick to one side. You're going to go all the way down, bringing that shoulder blade to the ground. Then you're going to rotate up. So inhale down, exhale, rotate up. Again, inhale down, exhale, rotate up. So the most important part of that movement is going to be getting your shoulder blade to the ground. You're going to feel a nice little pull going on in the back when you do get there. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, go ahead and switch. Same thing, guys. So now my left hand, I'm going to glide it all the way down, and I'm going to rotate up. Again, try to get as much rotation in that spine as possible when you're coming up. And always moving with the breath. So inhale, coming down, exhale, arching up. Again, inhale down. Still got about 30 seconds. Just want to read the comments. All right, nothing new. Again, just working on the shoulder right now. We got about 25 seconds, guys. Take it all the way down. You want to get that shoulder to tap and gently come up. So with these mobility movements, the slower you move, the better it becomes. Not extremely slow, but you want to be moving with the breath. So I want to take about a 4-second inhale down. So 4 seconds when I go down, and about 7 to 8 seconds as I exhale and come up. So that's going to be our basic tempo with most of these movements. 4 seconds for our inhale, about 7 to 8 seconds for our exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, another shoulder one. Go ahead and lie down on your stomach. So I'll demonstrate this movement, but I prefer to talk you guys through this one. So I want your feet tucked, so I want your toes right underneath, so we're activating them. What I'm going to do is we're going to be spelling the letters I, Y, and T. Ideally, I want you to plant your forehead down. I'm not going to do that for this one. What you're going to do is thumb pointing up. You're going to come up, create the letter I, back down, come out wide, create the letter Y, come back down, out all the way, create the letter T. So the way it looks, to show it to you here, is I'm creating the letter I then create Y, and then I'm going to go into a T. The most important is going to be differentiating your I with your Y. So make sure when you do this movement to really hone in on your scaps and really squeeze that shoulder blade together. So go ahead and start that movement up. Again, lying on your stomach. I want your forehead to be resting on the ground, thumb pointing up, lift up into your I. Come out into your Y, out into your T. Let's reset, guys. Up into your I, out into your Y, out into your T. Reset your movement. Up into an I, up into a Y, final one, T. 20 seconds, guys. Try to get as much activation in that shoulder, so really try to squeeze it. If you do feel pain with this one, don't go up as high. You're also welcome to go one by one if doing both is a lot on the shoulders. So again, you can always just go one by one when always avoiding the pain. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice, guys. Let's move on to some hip mobility. So we're going to be going into a 90-90 sit. Let me just make sure that you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is I want my right knee forward and I want my left knee back. I want to make sure that I'm creating a 90-degree space in between. We did this last time, and what I want to just stress is I don't want your heel and your knee to connect. A lot of people tend to set up the movement this way. What I want is I want you to make sure that your back foot, the knee, is parallel to your hip. So that's going to be step 1. Step 2, I want you to create a 90-degree space in the center, and then a 90-degree with your front knee. So again, my right knee is forward, my left knee is back. Go ahead and place your left hand on your knee. Create a fist with your right hand. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, lean down, 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 down. Hold, drive back up. Again, deep inhale. Exhale, down, 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 down. Hold, drive up. Good. Again, deep inhale. Exhale, drive down. Hold, drive back up. Again, deep inhale. Exhale, drive down. Hold, drive back up. Continue this movement. We still have about 30 seconds. To give you a modification, go ahead and plant both hands up front, and you're going to move like this. This will be a little easier on your core and on your back. So you're always welcome to plant both hands on the ground or even take both hands off, which is going to be a little more advanced. Keep going for 10, and we'll go ahead and switch. So deep breath in. Exhale, drive down, down, hold, drive back up. Good, go ahead and switch. Now, left leg forward, right leg back. Making sure that I'm in that 90-degree in the center and my knee is parallel to my hip. Planting my right hand on my knee. Create that fist. Deep inhale, guys. Exhale, fold down. Hold, drive back up. So what I'm doing when I fold is I want you guys to make sure that you're drawing your belly button into your spine and not just rounding over. So keeping my neutral spine, I'm going to go down this way. Again, keep that neutral spine as you go down into that hip movement. Again, a modification is going to be planting both hands up front. A progression is going to be creating both fists and then leaning forward just like so. So keep going for about 15 more seconds, moving with the breath. So inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up. Let's go 2 final ones. Inhale down, exhale up. Final one, everyone. Inhale down, exhale up. Keep yourself in this position. What I want you to do is watch my back foot. What I'm going to start with is planting both hands up front or in the center. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift that knee. Right now we're going to start working on internal, external rotation of that hip. So it's okay to hear snaps, crackles, and pops, just no pain. If you feel pain with this movement, don't lift too high or just completely avoid it. Again, planting my hands up front. I'm going to keep my foot on the ground. Only thing I'm lifting is my knee. So right here. Keeping my chest up, always moving with my breath. Ooh. Keep going for 10, guys. This is only 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Again, keep yourself in this position. Now I'm just going to lift my foot. Keeping my knee on the ground, we're just going to lift that back foot off. Again, we're just going to be lifting that back foot off. It's okay to be leaning forward like I'm doing. Just be sure to keep that neutral spine as you go with this movement. 15 seconds. Again, we're just going to lift, hold, drop back down. Making sure that my ankle is flexed as I'm lifting it up. Again, making sure that my ankle is flexed as I lift it up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Go ahead and switch. Let's bring that right foot forward, left foot back. Let's make sure that we're in line, 90 up front, knees in line with my hip. Keep your foot planted on the ground. We're just going to go ahead and lift that knee. So just lifting that knee. I have both hands planted up front. My core is nice and tight. So even though I'm not leaning forward, I still want to make sure that my core is engaged throughout that whole thing. Trying to get as much movement. So again, we're just working on internal and external rotation of our hip. If you feel any pain, please avoid the movement. First, try not bringing it as high. Maybe go just about an inch to a centimeter lower. If that still aggravates your hip, avoid the movement, guys. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep that knee planted on the ground. We're working on the back foot. We're working just on that back foot. Now we're getting that, still working on that internal, external rotation. What you want to be mindful about is, now that you've done both sides, do you feel that you're even? Do you feel that one side is a little harder or easier than the other? If you do, that is just something that we got to keep in mind. We got to continue working on these movements several times a day. It only requires about 5 to 10 minutes. So just make sure that you're continuously working on these movements. If you do see that you have some asymmetries, or just to better your mobility. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. See, with this side, I don't feel that I get up as high. So that's something that I got to keep in mind just to make sure that I'm practicing. So these are going to be our hip flows. So I want you to plant your heels on the ground. They're going to be wider than my shoulders. Planting both hands back. What I want you to do is, I don't want you to be slouching on it. I want you to be keeping that chest up. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep my hips nice and loose and just drop them. I don't want to force them down. I just want to keep them nice and loose and just allow them to drop from one side to the next. It's okay to have one side that's a little easier and the other one a little more challenging. It just shows that we got to stay consistent with this movement and practice it as much as possible. I know that when I first started implementing this movement, my left leg would stop right here. Within this past week, I've been doing my mobility about 3 to 4 times a day, and I do feel that within just a week, I've seen a lot of progress. Still stiff, but you know, I'm getting there. 7, 6. My next goal is a split. We got it. 3, 2, 1. Very nice, guys. Let's go into our spider walk with rotation. I'm going to add a nice little layer into this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off in a high plank position. I want your wrists beneath your shoulders, just like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to twist. So I want the eye of your elbow to point forward. If you can see that it's pointing forward now. So coming into this position, go ahead and step your right foot in. From there, rotate up, just the way we do our regular spider walk. Hand comes on the ground, drop your back knee down, lift up into that lunge. Both hands back down, kick that right foot back. Step your left foot forward, rotate your left hand towards that left side. Both hands back on the ground, back knee on the ground. You're in a modified lunge and reach. So to take this up a notch, what we can do is spider walk without dropping that back foot. Come up and go into your lunge. Again, switch. So the modification is just like so. The progression is going to be right here. I do have a slight bend in that back foot. You go from your spider walk up into your lunge. Back down, high plank, spider walk, into your lunge. Always making sure you're moving with the breath. So 15 more seconds, guys. Again, spider walk with the rotation up into that lunge. When you do that lunge, try to get some extension in that spine. So we're lifting up, keeping that core tight still. Let's go one more on each side. Lift up. Very final one here, guys, and we got a low plank coming up. Spider walk up into my lunge. Very nice. So with our plank, I'm going to talk you guys through this. So elbow beneath your shoulder. Let's set that up. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. So right about here. Get into that position. From there, what I want you to do is go ahead and pull your elbows back. So what that's going to do is that's going to go ahead and get you in your lats. What I like to think about when I'm doing that movement is trying to pull the ground in front of me towards my toes without lifting and pulling. So again, keeping yourself in that position, pull your elbow towards your toe. That'll get you in your lats. Step 2 is going to be your quads. So making sure you're tightening up your quads and your glutes so that your lower body is just as engaged as your upper body is. From there, your core will come in. So hold that plank. We still got about 30 more seconds. That 12-minute plank that I did with my nephew, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I hope to never do that again. I don't understand how he did 8 hours. Mine was 12 minutes and I was dying for about 2-3 days. 15 seconds, guys. Again, pull that back. Reset. If you feel that you're losing your tension, draw your elbows back. Tighten your quads, tighten your glutes. We have 10 seconds and we'll be up on our feet from here. So lock that in. Keep it up for 7. Hold. 6. Hold. 5. Keep it up for 4. 3, 2, 1. Very nice, guys. Go ahead and stand up. Grab some water if you need it. I'm pretty sure you might have worked up a sweat just a little bit, and that's totally fine. So our next one, we're going to go into some active mobility. So hands go right behind my ears. This is going to be our prisoner squats. So I want you to, from here, pull your elbows back. So what you're doing is engaging your shoulder blades. So making sure that your back is nice and tight. From there, I'm going to inhale down, hold for 3, 2, 1, exhale, drive up. So we want to go time under tension. We want to stay a little longer on our way down. Hold this position, drive back up. Again, you're going to inhale down, hold for 3 at that very bottom, explode up. What I want you to be mindful about is making sure that your knees are coming out over your second toe. What that's going to mean is your big toe. I want you to make sure that your knee is coming over your second and your third toe. So instead of it collapsing in, we want to make sure that we're pushing it out. Step 2, another thing I want you guys to think about is if I were to come and apply pressure on the outside of your foot, I want you to be able to push me away or spread the ground apart as you're going down into that squat. What that's going to do is that's going to activate your glutes. So it's going to take a squat where it's a lot more quad dominant and make sure that you're activating your glutes as you do it. So 7 seconds, this should be your last one. 3, 2, 1, drive up. We're going to go into our hip hinge. So feet are going to be about hip distance apart, hands out to my side. What I'm going to do here is keep a soft bend in my knee. So I don't want to lock it and I don't want it to come too far down. Keeping a soft bend in my knee, I'm going to bring my glutes or my hips all the way back, drive back up. So I like to think about this movement as closing the car door with my butt. That works for me. Or looking over the edge of a cliff. Whichever one works for you. You're going to inhale back, exhale, drive up. When you come to that end range, make sure your quads and your glutes are nice and tight. Again, it's a micro bend in my knee. So I don't want to see you guys, well, I can't, but I don't want you guys to be coming with your knee very forward or flexing that knee too much. So my hips go back. When I come up, you should feel the stretch going on all throughout your hamstring or the back of your thighs. Again, all the way back. Let's go 2 more, so we have 7 seconds. Inhale, exhale, drive up. Last one, everyone. 2 final movements to go, guys. Our next one is going to be our lateral lunge and a Cossack squat. So feet a little wider than my shoulders. What I'm going to do here is hips go to the back, then to the side. Again, I'm going to alternate. Hips go to the back and to the side. You should be feeling that pull going on in your inner thigh. To take this up a notch, what we're going to do is lift that bottom foot off the ground. Lift that bottom foot off the ground. The one thing I want you to make sure about is when we're doing the lateral lunge, what tends to happen is either people cave that knee in or they bring it out too far. What I still want you to notice is make sure that that knee is tracking over that second toe. And yeah, just make sure that it's tracking over your second toe so you're not causing any, you're not adding additional pressure to that knee or just injuring it. So no caving it in, and then don't excessively take it out. So that's the one thing I want you to be cautious about that movement, because what tends to happen is because it's not our regular squat and it's further out, we tend to kind of drag that knee out to the side or cave it in. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2. Very nice, guys. We're going to end off with our toe touch squat. Like I said, we're going to layer it up this time. So I'm going to break the movements down and then we'll go together. So there's going to be about 4 to 5 points that I want you guys to keep in mind. So 1, feet start off hip distance apart. 2, I'm going to go down into my hip hinge, just the way we did in the warm-up. Hands come down. I'm going to take my toes out, come into my squat. So that's 2. From here, I'm going to walk my hands down, full extension. Just got to make sure. So here, this is step 3. 4 is going to be a push-up. 5 is going to be a shoulder tap. Hold. Hold. Then I'm going to walk myself back into my squat. My hands come up and I stand up. So now let's go ahead and do it together. We're going to go nice and slow, just so we make sure that everyone's following along. So 1, feet are hip distance apart. 2, let's go into our hip hinge. Hands come down into your squat. Hold. Walk your hands down into your push-up. From here, push-up. Drive back up. Hold. Shoulder tap right. Hold. Shoulder tap left. Hold. Walk your hands back into your squat. Hold it. Hands come up. You stand up. Let's go 3 more times, guys. Again, hip hinge. Down into your squat. Hold it. Walk your hands into your high plank position. Push up. Up. Shoulder tap right, hold. Shoulder tap left, hold. Walk your hands back into your squat. Hold it. Hands come up. Stand up. Very nice, guys. 2 more times. Move with the breath. Hip hinge. Hands come down into your squat. Hold it. Walk yourself into your high plank position. Push up. Shoulder tap right, hold. Shoulder tap left, hold. Walk your hands back into your squat. Hands come up, stand up. One final one, guys, and we'll be done from here. Hip hinge, down into your squat, hold it. Walk your hands into your high plank position. Go into your push-up. Go into your shoulder tap right, hold. Shoulder tap left, hold. Walk your hands back into your squat. Hold it, breathe. Hands up, come up. Very nice, guys. Thank you for coming out and joining me for my mobility. Again, I've been doing this about 3 times a day. It's a little shorter, but I've been trying to stay consistent with these movements. And yeah, thank you for joining, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.